beautiful 2018 good guy Dick Searfoss. Bruce Hilliard is playing the part. Tom Pizarro's Dick Searfoss, what a great guy. And Dianna DiGregorio is really the 2018 good guy for the town of Wilmington. Not yet. You are now, Dianna, yes. We're going to give Dianna a few minutes to circulate around the room with her husband Mike, but once again we want to welcome you to tonight's 2018 Good Guy Award for the town of Wilmington. What's up with the chair? Thank you. I'm getting in right in the picture.
You're good photo bombers, Bob.
Oh, look at that. evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Neville, and I'm very honored and pleased to be able to be the Master of Ceremonies here for tonight's program. I would like to start tonight by introducing the head table. To my left, your right, the 2018 good guy, Dianna DiGregorio, and her husband, Mike. To my right, your left, 2017 good guy, Becky McGrath, and her husband, Ed. For those of you that are in the know, I would like to welcome you all to the 2018 Dianna DiGregorio Bowling Banquet. For those on TV and at home, as a point of clarification, Dianna bowls in a league in Woburn regularly, and this year her team, Dianna's Divas, finished in first place. And the rumor has it that they won a substantial cash prize this year. However, in order to claim that prize, she would have had to have been at the bowling banquet tonight, which is very inconvenient because it was tonight. Now, apparently, there were a couple of other weather-related issues with the bowling banquet, so she's very happy to be here tonight. We asked them to reschedule it, and they said, I don't think so. Now, Dianna was told that her friend and co-member of the 4th of July committee, Dick Searfoss, was this year's nominee. And it was in her intent to stop by the bowling banquet on the way here tonight, so we're glad to have her here. We want to welcome Dianna and her husband Mike to tonight's celebration. For those of you that are here tonight for the first time that may not be familiar with the process, each year the Good Guy Committee takes nominations from all over town, looking for people who have made a significant impact on our community as a volunteer. Persons holding a political office are not eligible, nor are individuals whose employment is a direct result of their ability to serve others. So what you have left are people whose primary role in town is to serve others. This is the 50th anniversary of celebrating Wilmington's Good Guys. And over the years, 52 different individuals have been recognized. I ask you to join with me now to welcome and congratulate all of them as well. For those of you who have never been here before, one goal is to try to embarrass our recipients, poke some fun at them, recognize their accomplishments to the community, and to make them feel a little bit good. And it's also about missing the bowling banquet. Some years it's very easy to poke fun at individuals. There are some real characters that have played that role of a good guy over the years. Harry Cunningham for one, Tom Pizzara for another. And then there are those who it's very difficult to poke fun at, because we don't know about the dirt. Hopefully tonight, we'll have the opportunity to poke some fun at Dianna. We will, I know, I've already heard. Our first speaker tonight is one of those people who we find it very difficult to pick on. A very classy lady, well known around town for so many different charitable activities, the 2015 Wilmington Good Guy, Anne St. Onge. Anne will be reading one of the nomination letters submitted on Dianna's behalf.
First of all, congratulations, Dianna. You really deserve this, and it's a very special night, being the 50th year. And it's my privilege to get to read a letter from one of your very dear friends. March 19th, 2018. Dear Good Guy Committee, I am writing you to nominate Dianna DiGregorio for your yearly award. I have known Dianna from the early 70s, and we carry an almost 50-year friendship. That being quite amazing in itself, with all the craziness of life, Dianna has always been a most giving person and friend. I could tell you numerous stories of what she has done for me personally as a friend, helping me through divorce, challenging years as a single mom with teenagers, assisting me with health issues, and always being there with her positive attitude and loving spirit. But this is about her strong sense of community. and giving back to a place she has called home for her entire life. That being said, what I find most amazing is her dedication to others who may only be acquaintances or, in many cases, someone she may have just met. She treats everyone like they are her friend, serving with countless acts of kindness over and over to ensure folks have a better quality of life. She gives hours of her time not only to the food pantry, but to the 4th of July committee, Adopt a Family program, the library, and I could go on and on. Her dedication to the food pantry has been ongoing for years, as she even delivers groceries to those who cannot pick up during food pantry time, sometimes even during storms. I have sometimes advised her not to go to a stranger's house or drive in bad weather, but she gets the job done regardless. Her dedication to the 4th of July committee has affected her summer schedule of vacations and our visits together, but she always makes herself available for those special days, no matter what else could be on the schedule personally. She has made the town of Wilmington, a place she has called home for her entire life, a priority, and does it all with a smile, kind spirit, and a loving heart. If you want to get a job done and get it done efficiently and on time, I always call Dianna. Her organizational skills, blended with her loving personality and relentless giving spirit, combined with her honest and sincere work ethic, as well as years of dedication, make her the perfect candidate for this award. Again, I would sincerely like to nominate Dianna DiGregorio of Wilmington for this year's Good Guy Gal Award. Sincerely, Mary Alice Branzetti, class of 1970, Wilmington High School, former Wilmington resident and friend. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ann. Our next speaker is well known in town not only for being the director of the public library, but also for the incredible job she does in marketing that program with community events, guest speakers, cutting-edge technology, and helping to oversee last fall's Mass Memories Roadshow that was done at Wilmington High School. This coming August, the library and the Wilmington Rotary Club will be co-sponsoring Friday Night at the Movies on the Swain Green. Welcome, Wilmington Library Director Tina Stewart.
Good evening, everyone. And Dianna, on behalf of everyone at the library, congratulations on receiving the 2018 Good Guy Award. It's very well deserved. And I'm pleased to have Ruth Ellen Donnelly and Charlotte Wood here tonight joining in the celebration. I'd just like to share with you some of the connections that Dianna has with the public library. Back in 2014, we embarked on a strategic planning initiative, and we needed to invite community representatives to serve on the planning committee. So I asked Dianna if she would be willing to serve. And during that whole process, we looked at ways that the library can meet community needs. So Dianna came up and said to me, I have an idea. And she said, there's wonderful nonprofit organizations in town, but there's a problem. They don't really communicate with one another. And she said, I think the library can bring them together. So out of that idea came the Community Resources Roundtable. And since April of 2015, we've been meeting 3 times a year and with representatives from about 15 different organizations in town. So again, thanks to Dianna, I think that the community is stronger because they work together now to share their ideas, their goals, and the services they offer the town. And another initiative, which Chris mentioned, was the Mass Memories Roadshow. And Charlotte Wood spearheaded that project, and again, asked Dianna to serve on the committee. And Dianna rolled up her sleeves and said to Charlotte, what do you want me to do? So she went out and she invited residents to bring their memories, their snapshots, and their stories to the Mass Memories Roadshow, which was on September 30th at the Wilmington High School cafeteria. And there was Dianna, right there early in the morning, ready to greet people, and she stayed all day greeting people and checking them in at the welcome desk. And she also brought some great memories herself to that event. And another event which she was involved in is our annual Shredding Day. For the past couple years, the library sponsors a shredding event, and for the past 2 years, the community fund has subsidized the shredding trucks. But this past year, the library decided, due to some logistic issues, that we were going to not offer it anymore. So when I told Dianna, she said, "Oh dear, well, I'll have to go ask the community fund if they still want to do it," and they're doing it. So again, thanks to Dianna, shredding will live on in Wilmington. So we have a little bag of shredding just to pass on to Dianna, just as a memento. We're passing the shredding on to Dianna and the community fund. And there's also a gift certificate to our bookstore next door, because Dianna is also a big reader. Thank you, Dianna.
I think it's appropriate at this time also to recognize Dianna's family who have joined us here tonight. I'm going to start with her mother, Mary Paulson. Just wave, Mary. Her daughter, Rachel Ottinger, with her husband, Fred. Her brother, Earl Paulson, and his wife, Kathy. Her sister, Donna Heffron, and her husband, Rich. My former auto mechanic that left town, and now I got nobody to fix my car from many, many years ago, but he does remember that. I don't blame him. Her sister, Sheila Morrison, and her husband, Lee. Her brother-in-law, Lou DiGregorio, and his wife, Rhonda. And a quick wave to her many cousins, nieces, and nephews that have joined us here tonight. One of the many letters that was submitted this year was submitted by our Veterans Affairs Director, Lou Samaglia. Lou has done great work for the town of Wilmington. Here to read the letter from Lou, because he couldn't make it tonight, is 1990 good guy. 28 years later, he's still very easy to poke fun at, Mr. Harry Cunningham.
I am not here tonight to talk about Harry Cunningham. I am talking about Lou Samiglia. Lou is the, what's he, the
Veterans Affairs Officer.
Veterans Affairs Officer. There's his title. I'm well versed on this. He handles all the Veterans Affairs in town, and he chose tonight to be out of town for reasons I know not. I know not.
He's at the bowling banquet.
Oh, is he really? So Joan Searfoot, who runs this tonight, if I'm a good guy, said she'd like someone to read a letter from Lou to the group. And Lou is a veteran, so I'm one of the oldest veterans in town, so she thought I could read it. She made a small mistake. Lou wrote 18 pages, 11 and a half, both sides, single-spaced. And he used a little bit of Army jargon. Okay, remember they used to say the sailors had salty tongues? You couldn't believe this. So I took the 18 and a half pages and cut it down briefly. And I proceeded to put it, and it's right here. Okay? But that's not true. It's here in this pocket. It's only 2 pages, and I'm gonna read. I'm reading this. This is Lou Samiglia's words using the vocal cords of H. Cunningham, soon to be banned in Boston. Good evening. I'm not going to change anything else in this, okay? Good evening. I'm sorry I could not make it tonight to celebrate Dianna's receiving the Good Guy Award. I scheduled a root canal, and I'd much rather be here. Does that mean he thought he was going to read this or not? I have no idea, okay? Dianna is a wonderful woman, and I write this letter on behalf of the many veterans in our community that Dianna has helped. Dianna has assisted the Department of Veteran Services on many occasions. I just can't think of any right now. Humor, okay? I love the next one. He's very sharp. Dianna is a tall woman. Yeah, Lou went far. And I believe she has been on the 4th of July committee for about the past 2 or 3 years. Which you all know she's been here for infinity, since infinity. I have heard from many, many Wilmington residents how they have to hide on the common during the 4th of July celebration so Dianna doesn't bully them into buying raffle tickets. And he did repeat, she's a tall woman. Okay? This next paragraph will kill you. How about them Red Sox? I can't believe how good they started this year. I think they are going to win it all. And I hope Mookie keeps hitting home runs. Oh, oh look, a butterfly. But I digress. I really wish I could think of something that Dianna has actually done for this community. More humor, okay? We're getting towards the end. BTW in capital letters starts this sentence. By the way. Oh, that's not what Lou meant, okay? I want to let the people of North Wilmington know that Dianna is in favor of the detox facility and said, and I quote, "I don't care about those people in North Wilmington," end quote. The next 2 words are, "Hi, Ed." Now, Ed is a member of the, what's his last name? Coughlin. I played poker with him last night, so I'm not speaking to him. But Ed Coughlin, that's a little jab at him, so it's an inside joke, okay? I didn't get it, and I live here. Did I say Dianna was a tall lady? Honest to God. That has a problem with little people. One time while working with Dianna, setting up the water balloon toss game, she told me, and I quote, "Look at those little people. I'm surprised they can see over the blades of grass because they are so short," end quote. Seriously, it's written right here, seriously. We're gonna get a new commissioner. The GG committee, which I assume means the Good Guy Committee, could not have made a better selection this year. Dianna has assisted many veterans in Wilmington through the food pantry and the community fund. I have called Dianna and she has secured heating, oil, assisted in paying bills, feeding these veterans, and also helping with Christmas gifts. Okay? Which takes us to the last page. And this page says, on a personal note, okay? Hold on your seat. Over the past 2 decades, I have always been able to rely on Dianna to assist with whatever my veterans need. She has truly helped saving young veterans' lives when they were in a very difficult time in their lives. Tough one to read. Give Dianna a call and she gets it done. Congratulations, Dianna. You are truly a good guy, girl. Sincerely, Lou Samiglia, Director, Department of Veterans Affairs, and the coup d'etat. Big letters. Peace. Thanks, Dianna. I hope I didn't touch it.
Thank you, Harry. I couldn't have said it better myself. We certainly picked the right one, Joan, to read that letter. Next year, Harry, when you speak for his behalf, would you call him Lou Samaglia? Because I think that's his last name. But that's. All right. One of the longest running programs run by volunteers in Wilmington is that of the Wilmington Food Pantry and the Wilmington Community Fund. One person who's been involved in both organizations since its inception is 1992 good guy Bob DePalma. I want to especially recognize Bob and Joan Searfoss tonight for all of their efforts in keeping this program going. Without them, we would not be here tonight. So thank you, Bob and Joan. I'd like to have Bob come to the podium.
Dianna,
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here. Dianna has been the president of the Community Fund for quite a few years. I'm sure she feels the job is a lifetime appointment. I think you do. What she doesn't realize is the reason is actually the vice president's fault. Now, Rachel's the vice president, and if Dianna steps down, then Rachel steps up. And we're not ready for that. Truly not. Diana's a regular volunteer at the food pantry. She greets everyone as they come in, makes them feel welcome, and pumps them for all the stories that they have. Later, she shares those stories with all of us, including me, and she assures me that she never tells any of the stories that she knows about me. I'm sure you do. But when it comes to being helpful, she has done it all. You've heard about the shredding paper, from that to cleaning out porta potties for the 4th of July events. She also kayaks. Now that is something I would love to see, her getting in and out of the kayak. Dianna, you are the type of person the Good Guy Award was designed for. Someone who makes our town a better place to live and raise a family by being the person that you are. This award shows how much Wilmington appreciates your being part of our community. Okay. And towards that end, we have a little gift.
I am a caller.
Thank you, Bob. While we're on the topic of food and the food pantry, I just want to take a moment to recognize Dave and Candy Erickson from AJ's Kitchen for putting our catering of the meal together tonight. They always do a very nice job for us. I also want to bring to your attention, if you haven't already taken advantage, the coffee and the cookie table over in the far left side of the room. I also want to acknowledge the floral arrangements that are here on the tables tonight. Those are donated by Designs by Don Hill. We want to thank him. He always comes through for us every year. You know, just a couple of months ago, Dianna and Mike celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary. True story, 40 years ago, Rachel was telling us about it. They celebrated their honeymoon during the blizzard of 1978 in Vermont with no power. As newlyweds, what would you do? But Rachel's not that old yet, right? All right. A couple of weeks after the honeymoon, Mike was talking with a couple of other newlywed guys about their wives. I forget where he met up with them. First guy said he married an Irish girl, and he noticed that after a few weeks, the supper wasn't on the table when he got home, the house wasn't all that clean, and he decided he was going to lay down the law, and he told his Irish wife he wanted dinner on the table when he got home, and he wanted the house cleaned up before he got home. He said nothing happened the first night, nothing happened the second night, but the third night, the dinner was on the table, the house was clean when he got home, and he was pretty happy about that. The other guy that says he married an English girl. Well, the same story, the guy said, a couple of weeks after the honeymoon, I noticed that the house wasn't all that clean when I got home, the dinner wasn't on the table, and I told my wife, I want dinner on the table and I want the house clean when I get home. He said, nothing happened the first night, didn't notice any difference the second night. The third night, dinner was on the table, the house was clean. So then Mike had to tell his part of the story. He said he married a pretty Scandinavian girl from the Boston area. And he also noticed that upon returning home from his honeymoon up in Vermont, his dinner was sometimes a little bit delayed and the house needed some vacuuming. So he laid down the law. He wanted dinner on the table, he wanted the house clean when he came home, and he wanted her to look nice when he came home for the day. Well, the first day he didn't see anything. The second day he didn't see anything, but the third day the swelling around his right eye started to dissipate a little, and he was able to see a little bit of daylight. Thank you to Dick Searfoss for that one. Our next speaker knows Dianna quite well. She's another person whom it is very difficult to poke fun at. She's worked with Dianna volunteering in several capacities, and she will be reading a letter from Terry Marciello, the Director of Elder Services here in Wilmington. She's actually gotten off of her sick bed tonight to join us. She didn't think she was going to make it, but Charlotte Stewart is the 2012 Wilmington Good Guy. Welcome, Charlotte.
It's my Scotch heritage. Terry is unable to be here this evening. She regrets very not being able to pay tribute to you, Diane, for your selection as 2018 Good Girl. She says, "Thank you, Diana. We are so very sorry." Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
I don't think I've ever done this before. We are so very sorry that we are unable to participate at the wonderful event for Diana. We can't say enough about the goodness in Diana's heart for the people of Wilmington. Diana is constantly thinking of ways to help the people of this community, especially those in need. We became familiar with Diana's work at the food pantry. In speaking with us, Diana realized that there were some elders in town who could benefit from the food pantry, but who could not physically get to the food pantry. Diana took it upon herself to personally deliver food to elders in need. Of course, in providing the service, Diana also built relationships with these elders. On more than one occasion, elders would confide in Diana about a problem they were experiencing. Diana would again reach out to our department to let us know, to then ensure that the elders received the help they needed. Diana understood that as good as most people are, there are some who could take advantage. Diana would put up safeguards to protect elders from those who may not have had the best of intentions. Diana would always make that extra call when she felt that something was not quite right, giving us the opportunity to reach out to the elder to ensure that they were in the course of Diana's busy schedule. Diana always thinks of those in need. Diana would always go that extra mile. Always. She is always behind the scene, never taking credit for all the help that she has provided for the people of this community. Diana truly is one of the good guys of Wilmington. We are truly excited that Diana is getting this wonderful award and getting the true recognition she deserves. Happy good guy, good woman. Thank you, Diana, from the Department of Elder Affairs.
A long-standing tradition of the Wilmington Good Guy is to receive recognition from the Massachusetts State Legislature. For 41 years, Jim Maselli arranged for that recognition. Tonight, we are very pleased to welcome Jim's Chief of Staff, David Robertson of Tewksbury, to make this presentation.
Well, cat's out of the bag. I'm actually from Tewksbury, so if you give me 5 minutes to get back towards the border before you start chasing me, I'd really appreciate it. But I appreciate you letting me come forward and present this tonight. I know it was usually a little more lighthearted, and given the circumstances, I thought instead that we'd focus on the more upbeat and positive half, including of which folks like Diana and the previous good guys, John and Harry and Bob and all that, truly bring to Wilmington, which makes your town brings it to be what's beyond a town. It makes it truly a community and a home. And here sitting tonight, and I had the pleasure actually of meeting Diana several times before, so I knew a lot about her work, and I knew a lot from my time with Jim about all the good that she ever did. Whether it was the integral part with veterans or 4th of July or the food pantry, you were more than just a neighbor, and you were more than just a friendly face in a time of need. You were a helpful soul that connected and understood truly what the person was going through at the time. And from what I understand, was sometimes the first smile and caring hand they saw extend to them for the first time in a long while. So, you all can feel free to make fun of me after. I just want to take the heat off of her for a little bit. I'm right at the table with Senator Tarr. You can come, you can throw fruit, you can just send jabs our way. We developed some thick skin on Beacon Hill, and I'm going to bring you the probably the second best thing that you can get from the Commonwealth aside from your state tax return, which is a citation from Representative Maselli. And it reads, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts House of Representatives. It says, be it hereby known to all that the House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Dianna DiGregorio in recognition of your hard work, dedication, and contributions to the town of Wilmington through your extensive volunteering endeavors. You are truly a shining example of what it means to be a true civil servant and are very deserving of the Wilmington Good Guy Award. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for good future fortune and continued success in all your endeavors, brought this 11th day of May, 2018. We'll hold it up. I also just want to extend, the State House is looking for people to shred documents all the time. You just can't ask what they are, if you're okay with that.
I got a bag of stuff.
I don't know if you want to.
Thank you, David. I want to thank you for bringing to my attention that State Senator Bruce Tarr into the room. I don't know how I missed not hearing when he came in, but thank you for joining us tonight. Time to get back at you, my friend. All right, you'll get your chance in a few minutes. Somehow and somewhere there's a story that explains why Dianna DiGregorio wanted a shovel for the Christmas tree lighting celebration on Wilmington Common. Consistent with digging up dirt on this year's honoree, we did some digging to find out a little about Dianna's quirks. For instance, I'm told that she is fond of driving new cars, but then after a while she complains that they're too small. How many new Kias have you owned in your lifetime, Dianna? Mike? Well, after the first Kia was too small, she bought another Kia. What were you thinking? You're 6 feet tall, right? We're told that she hangs out having coffee with Jay Ty at Dunkin' Donuts on Main Street a couple of mornings a week. Of course, we knew that ahead of time. We may not have elected you the good guy. She's reported to be a good cook, except when she accidentally left a new set of dishes in the oven. Forgetting that they were in the oven, she turned the oven on to preheat until she started hearing everything shatter in the oven, not only ruining the dishes, but the oven as well. Am I right? She's somewhat afraid of heights, although you wouldn't expect that. But Rachel told us that she's not afraid to get up on a ladder to do some painting, but then she can't get back down by herself. She always needs help. She's very health conscious. She's always active and working out. She paints her nails for the 4th of July celebration, and she is regularly seen as the walker walking all over town. Now I am very hopeful that her brother Earl will come and provide some additional dirt about his sister. Here we go. With a reminder that this is going live on Wilmington Community Television.
It's live?
I'm thinking.
Is there a delay? Is there a delay?
There's no delay, I don't
All right, hold on, I gotta change a couple of words, hold on.
Well, that's okay. We'll edit it out for the next time.
All right.
Nobody's watching tonight anyway.
So, hello, I'm Diana's baby brother, Earl. Diana is actually short to me, Harry, so it's all good. I've been asked to say a few words to make sure you do not all go home thinking Diana walks on water. All the time. Some of the time, definitely. It's hard to think of too many things to razz Diana about, so I asked for some help and I got some thoughtful things from my sisters and mother. So I'm going to go through a couple of those, Diana, if you don't mind.
I don't think I have a choice.
Okay. Well, we all heard about Diana's bowling night. So her bowling league banquet was tonight, and it really was very hard to get her here. So we had to think of a couple of things that we could do. So Rachel and I first conspired about saying that Rachel was pregnant. But she doesn't want to talk about stuff like that. Michael and Diana are both twins. Rachel knows when she has one, it's going to be quads. So she doesn't like to talk about children. So that was strike one. Strike two was Michael tried to stop her from driving, backed out of the garage and hit her car. Too bad it was on the wrong side, so she could still get in. So that was another strike. I'm not sure how Michael got her here tonight, but I'm glad she did, so thank you. And there was no spare, because Dianna wasn't there. So, I'll pass on that one. All right, so being a twin, Dianna always felt a little slighted that Donna was the oldest. Donna said she tried to let Dianna be the oldest. She pushed her, she dared her, she tried to force her down the chute. But unfortunately, Dianna was never a daredevil type. Hated roller coasters, afraid of heights. Fast cars, unless she was driving. So no way she was going first. So she let Donna go. And then when Donna got out, she told my mother, Diana's not coming. My mother said, oh yeah? You watch, you get out. So thankfully, 3 minutes later, she was born. Growing up, Dianna always wanted curly hair, or wanted to have some kind of bounce in it. She would go to bed with these huge, god-awful curlers. I think she was trying to catch some reception from outer space or something. Sometimes my mother would be looking for soup cans and things and couldn't find them. We think she rolled her hair up in those too, so we're not really sure what she was looking to do. I, on the other hand, always looked up to Dianna. Unfortunately, it was usually from my bed while her and the other siblings would have toothpaste under my nose, my hand in warm water, trying to me to wet the bed. It didn't work. I haven't done that for at least a week or two. Bad sister. Dianna loves animals. Our family always took all the strays in from the neighborhood. We had lots of cats, dogs, squirrels, rabbits, and anything else that couldn't walk or fly. She now really likes cats, and she has one of her own. It's a fraidy cat also. I don't think it likes roller coasters because it won't come near me. So we were wondering why not a bird or not a dog. And I was talking to Donna and my mother. Donna, the tomboy, climbed real high on a tree, coaxed Dianna to come up the tree. But when she got stuck and wouldn't come down, she whined like a cat. Donna got a bowl of ice cream and held it up so she'd come down. But by the time she reached the ground, it was just milk. So she said, good kitty, and I think Diana's had cats ever since. But really, there are not a lot of things we can tease Dianna about. She's a great sister, daughter, I think mother and wife. She makes time for anyone in need, takes time to listen to our woes, will do anything possible to help with anything we need. I always admire her time management, her dedication to the town of Wilmington, and all the things she does at the food pantry. Our family would like to congratulate her and hope she continues to be there for us as we will be there for her. Dianna, you're a wonderful, strong person, and I'm glad the rest of the town can finally see that. We love you. Thank you. Oh, and Diana's nickname is Big Bird, so anytime you hear you'll know what I'm talking about.
Thank you for sharing all of that, Uncle Earl. I saw Mike smiling, I saw Rachel smiling, not so much Diane. I'm not sure she was too thrilled with that. She got it. Another Wilmington good guy who's been working with Dianna and Mike for many, many years, organizing one of Wilmington's greatest traditions, Wilmington's Fun on the 4th festivities. For all of his efforts in bringing this tradition back to the town common, we welcome the 2016 Wilmington Good Guy, Scott Garant.
The tall people in your family. So I think this is I know this is the 4th time I've spoken, other than in 2016 when I had the pleasure of speaking at the end, surprised pleasure. It's always difficult to plan to speak tonight because you never know whether it's going to be a solemn dedication of how wonderful the recipient is or a true roast, except for the year Lou won. Then you knew what it was going to be. It was a roast. So I prepared 2 speeches. I'm not sure which one to go with, especially now that I've heard there's no 7-second delay. So I'm just going to go with my gut, Dianna.
Roast.
very appreciative of the opportunity to speak about Dianna this evening, and a town blessed to have so many people who selflessly give of their time and of themselves on a daily basis. Nobody exemplifies volunteerism in the spirit of our community more than Dianna does. I'm speaking this evening on behalf of the 4th of July Committee, as Chris mentioned, but I also had the opportunity to serve with Dianna on the Community Fund, where I witnessed not only her commitment to helping residents in need, but also the fact that she brings the same levels of energy and passion to all that she does to make our town better. It's all sounding good so far, right? Okay. If my math is correct, this is Dianna's 21st year on the 4th of July Committee. I joined the committee a year later, and I've been trying to keep up with her ever since, even if it takes me 3 strides to every one of her 1. We have a committee where everyone respects one another and looks out for one another. During my first years on the committee, I noticed that everyone was especially nice to Dianna, and I wasn't quite sure why. Not that she didn't deserve it, but everybody was over the top nice. It took me some time, but I finally figured out that if it weren't for Dianna, we wouldn't be able to reach the stuff on the top of the closet shelf, and at Christmas time, we wouldn't have a star on top of the tree in the headquarters. I'd like to recognize Mike and Rachel, both former members of our committee, for their service to the committee and for sharing Dianna with us. I'd especially like to thank Mike for making it so that Dianna wants to be out of the house so often. I have to admit that I've been a bit worried the past few days. While I sincerely hope that Dianna remains on the committee and in town for many years to come, I suspect that she may be soon retiring to a warmer climate, thanks to the voters of the town of Wilmington, who have put her in the position of selling all of the plastic bags she's been hoarding at the food pantry for so many years. On our committee, Dianna serves as our clerk, which means that she has the unenviable task of compiling the minutes of meetings where 11 of us are speaking at once. She brings great enthusiasm and a gentle temperament to working with the kids in the doll carriage bicycle parade, tremendous organizational skills to working with the participating community groups in securing town permit approvals. She brings an unrivaled tenacity to the sale of raffle tickets on the town common during the celebration, and much, much more. Dianna, on behalf of the committee, I thank you and congratulate you. I'm delighted that the rest of the residents are taking the time to recognize what we have long known, that your dedication to this town is boundless, and that we are all very fortunate to be able to call you a friend and a member of our community. And we know you take very little time to yourself, but when you do, you love to garden. So from the committee, hope this helps with the next trip to Mahoney's.
Thank you, Scott. Our next speaker was in attendance and was featured prominently at last week's marathon town meeting that lasted 10 hours. Following 2 days in Leahy Clinic and intensive care and a rehab stay at Woodbriar Nursing Home, it is my pleasure to welcome to the microphone Town Manager Jeff Hull.
Good evening. It is a good evening. It's far better than it was a week ago, let me tell you that. One of the things I noticed tonight in terms of the various speakers is that David Robertson is one of the few people that sees eye to eye with Dianna.
I'll sell you a few inches.
Yeah, please do. As you know, we did have one heck of a Cinco de Mayo a week ago. I'm still recovering, quite frankly. You know, and I really like and respect Rob Peterson, but this frequent refrain, the gentleman in the back, after about the 15th time that he made that comment, I thought I'd bought the farm. One of those things you had to be there for, so I'll move on. You probably don't know, but Dianna is a big proponent of adding to the tax bill. Every August or September, I get this request to add to your tax bill. Now, ostensibly, it's for the community fund, I think, in fact, it's over budgeting. I have to tell you, and this is going to be difficult for me, but I'm prepared this evening to come out. I've remained quiet about this, adamantly denied it for years. I know many in town have suspected, and some clearly more than others. But I tell you, it wears you down. You try to hold it in, you deny it, you pretend. But I'm here to tell you tonight and the two viewers on WCTV that it's true. Your suspicions are confirmed. I'm an over-budgeter. I've said it. The weight of the world is off my shoulders. I can rest tonight knowing that I've come clean. It started small, a few $100s here or there. George Hooper, he'd come in and request in his budget a line item for plungers for $5. And I'd put $500 in his budget. Chief Pagonis submitted his budget with a line item for Dunkin' Donuts, and I added hundreds of dollars. Then it started to add up into the thousands. Mike Woods requested $1,500 for a jackhammer. I gave him $6,500. Terry Marciello requested $750 for a yoga class, and I added $10,000 to justify it, saying that we'd provide the spandex. It just got crazy. Hundreds turned to thousands, turned to millions, and people bought it. And they're still buying it. And I tell you, it's gratifying. That's how Dianna and I met. We met through Over Budgeters Anonymous. They meet twice a week over at the Radisson in Woburn. The membership's actually $60 a year. I tell my wife it's $360. Paraphrasing from someone you probably are familiar with, William Shakespeare, who said, "To over budget or not to over budget, whether it is nobler in the minds of residents to suffer the slings of over budgeting to generate outrageous fortune, or to take up arms by spending $505 instead of $5 for that toilet plunger, and by opposing the plunger purchase at all, to that end, to die, to sleep," and the poem goes on. Dianna and I understand each other. We're soulmates. She told me about a trip a couple of years ago that she planned for herself and Mike. It was a weekend getaway. Just Mike and Dianna to Clarksburg. You've heard, the last train to Clarksburg, the Monkees, 1966. It was a 3-night stay at the Cowpie Inn, a rustic shanty. Similar in, you may know this house, but similar to Mike Bodner's place. Overlooked the Swine Hollow. She told him the stay was $1,900 and they threw in cow tipping on Saturday nights. In fact, the stay was $1,200. That's when she knew she had a problem. She was an over-budgeter. I asked her, I said, did Mike, did he go postal? She says, no, he's a master at it, though. The folks at Over Budgeting Anonymous say it's a 12-step program. I say it's 16. Dianna and I take it 1.5 days at a time. In all truth, I don't know if you've ever read the book by Adam Grant. He wrote a book called Give and Take, and it challenges the premise that to get ahead, you have to take advantage of people. In order to succeed, you need to jump over people. Clearly, there are many takers in our society, some just out of need, others that really don't need. They're just looking for a free lunch. But clearly that's not the case with Dianna. Even amongst givers, and certainly Wilmington has the great fortune of having many givers. Dianna is an exception. She's truly committed to Wilmington, as you've heard tonight. The Community Fund, the Food Pantry, July 4th Committee, the Community Roundtable. I know my wife and I, when we participate in the Adopt a Family program through our church, and we will drop off the gifts right around Christmas, and Dianna and Rachel are always there organizing and getting that all put together. Clearly, Dianna has a very kind heart and is a key member of this town in terms of maintaining the safety net, which helps those less fortunate than many of us, and is why Wilmington is so special. So congratulations, Dianna, and thank you, and thank Mike and Rachel for sharing her with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. I can picture Mike Kyra right now probably thinking, Jeff, you're supposed to know your audience when you do some of those town meeting jokes. A lot of these people here aren't from Wilmington. Our next speaker probably needs no introduction. Whether you're an active supporter or not, you've probably been asked to sign a petition in front of Market Basket asking for a special town meeting. I'd like to welcome to the podium for a special presentation our longest-serving selectman, Mike McCoy.
Thank you, Lieutenant Neville. No, he's still a lieutenant. Now, let me just say this. Normally, it's the chairman of the board that gives out the presentation, and obviously, we don't have a chairman of the board at the moment, so it goes to the next person, the most senior guy in line. So Monday, I did buy a ticket to come to the Good Guy Award. Man, I guess this is what this is really all about, I guess. So anyway, I sat down with the town manager, and I bought my ticket. And I got the ticket from the town manager, and I said, by the way, who is the recipient of the Good Guy Award? And he said, you can't say a word to anybody. It's the lady to the left of me. I promised I wouldn't say anything. Okay. So when I looked at the lady to the left of me, and I said, oh, somebody who likes me, you know? And her husband likes me, but I'll tell you who loves me? It's her mother, Mrs. Paulson. That's who loves me. And I love her because, you know, I got nothing else to do better in my life, so I'm at Market Basket about 3 times a week anyway. So anyway, I always bump into Mrs. Paulson. So I tell my wife, I said, guess who I bumped into? She goes, let me guess, your girlfriend, Mrs. Paulson. So just recently, a couple years ago, I had a couple hip surgeries. So I was in the hospital, had my hip replacement. My wife comes up to me and said, guess who's down the hallway? I go, my girlfriend, Mrs. Paulson? Yep, she had her knee done by Dr. Fame. So we had many conversations. But now I'm here tonight. Mr. Manager, by the farm, it's my turn now. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I want to take a look out there, and I want to see who my friends are. So one of my good friends is obviously the town manager. Hi, Mr. Manager. So as you know, former chairman Mike Shampoo, well, usually he'd give him permission to be here, but I made that mistake. Mike Newhouse gave permission to Mike Shampoo to give permission to the town manager to be here. Another mistake, Mike Kyra gave permission to Mike Newhouse, who gave permission to Mike Shampoo for the town manager to be here. So I'm glad to see the manager here tonight. And I'll tell you something, and I have to honestly say, I see Judy O'Connell out there. I've seen Judy 3 times this week, and she can attest to that. Tonight and the 2 other times. I've seen Judy more this week than my wife. So Monday and Wednesday, believe it or not, I was at the Tewksbury Memorial High School at the Tewksbury town meeting. Judy comes in both Monday and Wednesday, and she's accompanied by her date tonight as those 2 dates, Kevin Kyra. And I'll get to you in a second, Kevin. So I just want to let some folks know that. Now at the town meeting, I noticed on the Wednesday night in Tewksbury, they had a special town meeting, seriously, within the regular town meeting. They had 2 articles. They started at 7 o'clock. They were done at 12 past 7. Man, can they do it right. unlike the chump in Wilmington that kept everybody there for 3 hours. I'm sorry, you know, and once again, we have some folks out from Wilmington, but some of the people get that joke. Now, Kevin, seriously, I'm the acting chairman right now. I'm keeping the seat warm for you, so about 41 hours, 10 minutes, and 2 seconds, you're gonna be there, so let me have my quick moment here anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to say those few things, and I'm glad Steve Bork's not here tonight, let me tell you something, because I wasn't gonna say nothing bad about Steve whatsoever. But John Arvanitis, I'm sitting at the table, he goes, Mike, are you gonna be speaking tonight? I said, yes, I am. Make sure I'm out at 9:30. And even though I haven't been to many of these, I do watch them on television, and I know you're a stickler, you wanna get on time, you know? So let me just put on these glasses here a little bit if I can. I just wanna say a couple of things, and I remember Judy, she was the chairperson at the 50th anniversary there for the Sons of Italy, and she said, Michael, before the end of the night, I want to have a dance with you. Judy, I'm still waiting for that dance. I'll be Patrick Swayze, you can be Baby. I'm right here. You know, so, all right, let me just say a couple of quick things, real quick, about Dianna and her wonderful husband. And I have to read from this because she's volunteered so much, and I couldn't memorize this thing, so I have to read it. First of all, I have to read this list because she's gone above and beyond the call of duty here. She has served on the 4th of July committee for 24 years. And her husband, Michael, who I know, he's been there close to 30 years. She also served on the Wilmington Community Fund. She provides food, emergency relief, and assistance to Wilmington residents. She also serves with the Secret Santa, giving gifts to children or families in need. She also greets residents at the Wilmington Food Pantry and helps with all the kinds of food donations. She participates in the Wilmington Community Roundtable. She meets local nonprofit groups to coordinate programs. And lastly, and I'll say it again, there's my other girlfriend there, Mrs. Paulson. So I just want to, give me 1 second. I just said to Beverly, please, they said it's in a white box. I hope there's not 2 boxes there. Let me just open this up if I can nicely, without breaking anything. All right. This is called the Paul Revere Bowl. This is what the town of Wilmington gives out to recipients like this. This is a beautiful, beautiful bowl, and it's on behalf of the town of Wilmington. And I have to really say this sincerity with all to my heart, that no one deserves this better than you. You're a wonderful person. You've been a good friend throughout the years. You have a wonderful family, and I can't think of a nicer person to get this. And you talk about volunteerism in this community. No one does it better than these 2 folks right up here. So on behalf of the town of Wilmington, it's a complete honor to give this, and I'm so happy to be here with everybody. Thank you. You take the glass and make believe I'm about 5 years younger. Not as tall as anyone else.
Stand up.
I am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. One of the busiest people, excuse me, in northeastern Massachusetts, and someone who was frequently in Wilmington. He was in town for Jeff's town meeting last week as well. He constantly provides representation and a voice for the residents of Wilmington. And man, what a voice. I'd like to welcome to the microphone State Senator Bruce Tarr.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. You said I'd get my chance. I know you didn't notice when I came in, just like you didn't notice every time I drove down Route 38 at 50 miles an hour when you were on the department, so I guess that's right. I got to tell Jeff, you mentioned over-budgeting anonymous. I want you to know that there is a chapter of that at the State House. It meets every Wednesday afternoon at the Ways and Means Committee. And I want you to know that you're welcome to that. So we certainly invite you. And my good friend, Dave Robertson, who really, seriously, has done such an incredible job during some very difficult times. But Dave said that apparently I'm experienced at throwing fruit. I'm not exactly sure what that means because Dave knows that fruit is not what we throw at the State House. And so, we'll talk about that later. There's But, you know, it's interesting because I heard a lot tonight about the fact that this was being live streamed. And in fact, I looked out and there's something like a robotic camera looking right at us. It looks strangely like the one someone ripped off the wall at town meeting because they couldn't take it anymore. And apparently it has reappeared here for the Good Guy Award. Now, Tom is over here with another camera, so I don't know exactly who's shooting what, but I would say this is an experiment, right? We heard tonight that this is being live streamed. But what you weren't told is that it is only being live streamed to South America. And so the regular broadcast of The Good Guy will be at its usual time, 3 a.m. Thursday morning for the next 6 months. So you don't fret if you're a usual viewer of the Wilmington Good Guy. It's not going anywhere. And of course, if you are in South America, or for all of you that are not from Wilmington, there will be a crawl line explaining some logical explanation of everything that's happened up here so far. I can't vouch for how good it will be, but it will be done. So I got the message, you know, and I always love coming to The Good Guy, and we always have a great time, and it's an amazing tradition. People that don't live in Wilmington, like apparently this half of the room, always ask me, well, what is The Good Guy? And I say, well, you pick the nicest person in town, and then you torture them in front of a group of people for like what seems like just short of a Wilmington town meeting, like, you know, 8, 9 hours. And it's amazing. And of course, I always talk about the former leader of the Spanish Inquisition, Harry Cunningham, who was a master at leading that torture. But at any rate, I get this message. And it says, you are really going to love The Good Guy this year. It's someone that you can really look up to. I didn't realize how literally they meant that. So then I start reading, you know, some of the nominations, and they're incredible. And I thought that with all the electronic technology, Diana, there was a way that you couldn't send all those from your email address. I thought they had filtered that out. But I start reading them all, and boy, what a wonderful explanation we had of your childhood up here. You know, what an amazing thing it must have been like to grow up in your household. And, you know, you still turned out okay. So it was truly a demonstration of, you know, sibling love that was up here just a little while ago. But at any rate, so I'm reading through these nominations, and it seems like, you know, everything that comes to your door, you sign up for. It was like, well, we would, you know, needed her on the 4th of July committee, and no, then she signed up for that. And then, well, and by the way, then we said we needed somebody for the Wilmington Community Fund, and she signed up for that. And then, you know, she sent a thing, and it said, well, that we need somebody for the food pantry, and you signed up for that. And I'm just wondering, like, who filters your mail? Because it seems like everything you get, oh, who filters your mail? Oh, well, wait a minute. So it seems like everything you get, you sign up for. So I'm just, you know, we're going to send you a few things this week. And, you know, I hope you'll be interested in some of those. But, of course, one of the great things that I read, and it was from Tina Stewart, and it was a very heartfelt nomination, was talking about the fact that you volunteered for Shredding Day. Well, you can imagine how that piqued my interest, because at the end of July, the legislature ends its formal session. It's amazing, right? So I'm here to tell you, and I'll send this to you in the mail because I know you'll sign up for it. On the first day of August, we're having a shredding day at the State House. Can you imagine? And we would love to have you come and join us, and you can join with all the other over-budgeters, and you're just going to have a great time. And, you know, I was thinking about that. I was thinking, one of the things you signed up for was the 4th of July committee, right? What an amazing committee in this town. But I also, you know, there's a little bit of blame to go around here for the couple of times I sat over on the Common looking for the 4th of July celebration. And, you know, so it got moved around a little bit. And I was wound up there by myself. You know, I went and bought some cotton candy and sat and lit off some fireworks, and you didn't notice that either. But, you know, I'm sitting there thinking about the 4th of July committee, and so now it's kind of, you know, relocated. I'm thinking, what are they going to do next? So the rumor is, and I don't know if you want to disclose this, but the rumor is their next plan is to actually change the date of the 4th of July so that we'll still be trying to figure out where it is. So, I'll be out there on the July 4th, but I heard you're going to go to August 4th. I don't know if you can mention that. But, it is, 4th of July in this community is one of the most incredible times that any town could ever have. You walk out there and you see people from every generation. You see people with American flags. You see people reconnecting that maybe haven't seen each other over the winter or for some period of time. You see young people being mentored by older people, and you see the sparkle in the eyes of the older people because they get to be with the younger people. And for practically a whole week, everyone remembers once again that first and foremost, we are all Americans and we mean something to each other. And that's what the 4th of July Committee brings to this town. And then we think about the food pantry. And you being, Dianna, someone that greets people when they come in and lets them know that they're welcome and that people want them to be there and they want to help. And then I read the story about how you thought of the idea about the Community Resources Roundtable to connect all of the great things in this town to each other so that they could be stronger for it. And I read on and on and on. And then I thought, I wonder what the next thing that Dianna's going to do, other than the shredding day, which you're committed to. And the answer that came to my mind is, what she's going to do is respond the next time someone needs help. And aren't we lucky to know someone that feels that way about us and their neighbors and their community and everyone around them? And isn't that, Dianna, a real reason to look up to you and a wonderful reason to celebrate you tonight? And that's why I am so happy to be here. I want to congratulate the committee on its choice. I do have a Senate citation for you. I think it's very interesting. There is certainly a very strong wave of female representation here at the Good Guy. In fact, I may have to think about calling it the Good Gal next year, but for right now, I have from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the State Senate, an official citation that reads, "Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Dianna DiGregorio in recognition of your demonstrated and selfless commitment to the community, worthy of the 2018 Town of Wilmington Good Guy Award. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. And this is signed by our President, Harriet L. Chandler. It's attested to by our Clerk, William F. Welch. And I'm so proud to offer it on May 11th of 2018 to a really good guy. Congratulations, Dianna.
Every year, the remaining proceeds of the ticket sales for tonight's event is collected and presented in the form of a charitable donation in the name of the award recipient. I'd like to welcome Bob De Palma back at the stage tonight to make that presentation.
Dianna, the greeter at the food pantry. It was a tough act to follow, too. You had tough competition there. We take part of everyone's ticket, and we make a donation to a charity that we think you would be pleased to make a donation to. And in this year, the donation is to the Wilmington Community Fund.
There you go.
So here, Dianna. a $200 donation. I'd also like to draw your attention to the centerpieces on the table. They were designed and put together by Rachel. They're absolutely beautiful. If you look closely, you'll see that they are real food, and the food will be donated to the food pantry. Okay?
Certainly one of the people who best knows of the dedication and the time that Dianna has spent impacting this community is a person that has known her all of her life, a person who's been nurtured in the art of giving back and community service. I want to welcome Dianna and Mike's daughter, Rachel Ottinger.
Remember that I'm a very good girl. First, I'd like to start off by thanking everyone here in the room tonight. If it wasn't for you and all of your nominations, I would never have the chance to publicly embarrass my mom in front of all you people without fear of getting grounded. So, thank you. I'm really proud to stand before you as my mom gets inducted into such an elite group. Never could I have imagined that she would be part of a group whose sole purpose it was to pat themselves on the back year after year. Mom, you're gonna fit in great. But really, we're here to celebrate my mom. A beautiful, intelligent, and overly wonderful person, such as myself, I'm honored to stand before you to sing her praises. I've known Dianna going on 34 years now. Was someone short in front of me? I gotta raise this up. Hold on one second. All right, is that better? There we go. I've known Dianna going on 34 years now. And in that time, she's been a constant display of selfless service to others, offering up her time volunteering, helping friends and family, working full-time, and caring for our family. Despite years of having a busy work schedule, she was always finding ways to volunteer for employee groups, school activity committees, and church organizations. She always gave each commitment her fullest attention, making it better than before upon moving on. Thinking about it now, I'm amazed at how much she fit into her day. Personally, I consider my day a success if I wake up, go to work with 2 matching socks on. But then again, my mom's unofficial motto is if you want something done, give it to a busy person. But trust me, she's never too busy to tell you just how busy she is. In fact, she's been so busy building her street cred as a good guy that she hasn't even realized she's retired yet. Literally, she hasn't worked full-time for over 3 years, and in that time, she has not stopped working for 3 years. But I guess that offsets the 3 years of napping my dad took upon retirement. My mom has always strived for the best. Among many choice words, particular, picky, and perfect are a few that come to mind. And as evidenced by being an only child, Dianna's pursuit of perfection ended right here. Dianna has been so much to so many of us. To some, she's been a sister, daughter, friend, and wife. To others, she's the walker, cruising through town at ungodly hours of the morning. Some of you may also know Dianna as the relentless raffle ticket salesperson during the fireworks. And actually, come to think of it, y'all want to just pull out $2 now so we can just get this started for next year? You know she's going to squeeze out of you eventually. My mom is also known for just being her, or rather one half of the Paulson twins. You know, the tall one with all the Gucci Gamas? Trust me, as a kid, I knew better than to bring home a macaroni and yarn necklace unless it was covered in carrots. And I'm not talking about vegetables. Whether she's on her 17th wedding ring, don't worry, still only one husband, showing off her elaborate nail designs, or being immaculately dressed, My mom also subscribes to the philosophy that there's no harm in looking good while helping others. But again, we're here to celebrate Dianna. All that she is, all that she does, and all that she means to so many people. I, much like the other speakers tonight, will go on and on and on about just how great Dianna is, what a kind person she is, how she does all these wonderful things. So it may surprise you to hear that underneath all that care and compassion, there's a devious, conniving, and dare I say vengeful side to her as well. Don't worry, Mom, I'm not going to tell them about the time you crashed into Dad's car when you were backing out of the driveway. Or was that the other way around? No, I'm here to let you all in on her deepest, darkest secret. It's not wise to get on my mom's bad side. Unfortunate for some, there's one group in town that has officially made it to Dianna's dark side. She has tirelessly and relentlessly spent days, months, even years plotting against this foremost foe. And truthfully, rightfully so. They've stolen from her. They've snuck behind her back. And since this is being broadcast live on WCTV, I'm not going to tell you the horrible things that they've said about her. You know, actually, some of you tonight may actually know them. Yes, folks, Dianna is deep in battle, trying to outwit the common gray squirrel. Much like our cat Dusty darts from window to window to trail birds, Dianna flies back and forth through the house, squawking each time her nemesis dares to appear. My mom has spent an exorbitant amount of time trying to keep those freaking squirrels from attacking the 30-plus bird feeders that are in her garden. And I'm sure my dad can attest to the crazed look she gets in her eye each time her newly engineered, foolproof squirrel foiling plan ultimately fails. So, Mom, to help you with your mission, Fred and I have put together the official Squirrel Stopper Survival Kit to help you beat them once and for all. To start, we have a disguise so that they don't see you coming. Next, a bird of prey to stick in the yard to scare them away. If that fails, we have some spray oil to grease down the poles and some hot sauce to make them not like the food. And finally, target practice. But again, if none of that works, we also have for you 50 pounds of squirrel food to offer as a peaceful accord. As a proven mover, shaker, and general get-it-doner, Dianna is often recruited when new projects develop in town. As you've heard, she's sat on committees for Wilmington's 275th and Memorial Roadshow, and is currently working with the library to create the centralized resource center for community groups. Aside from organized initiatives, my mom is always the first to volunteer when friends, family, or sometimes even strangers ask for help, with anything from cooking to yard work to caretaking and beyond. Always putting others' needs above her own. If you need it done, Dianna probably already has it finished. We're all gifted the same 24 hours to our day. However, it's how you choose to spend those moments that matter the most. Dianna has selflessly given her time to those in need, those who could use a helping hand, or those who sometimes just needed a friend. And I'm so proud to see all her moments of giving back to the community. I'm even prouder to see that she takes right after her daughter. Congratulations on this honor, and for being my mom. You're so deserving of both. Thank you.
I detected a lot of appreciation from these tables during that conversation. Nice job. Just want to remind everybody as the night starts to wear down, we want to remind everybody to sign the guest book if you haven't already done it when you came in tonight. Please try to sign that on the way out. This time I'd like to welcome the 2017 Good Guy, Becky McGrath, to present the nomination letters and some, I'm sure, words of wisdom as Dianna starts her new career next year.
First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming, and I can tell you firsthand what a special night this is for Dianna. You're so deserving. It's so great to hear from everyone here about all the things you do that I didn't know that you do, and fortunately, I've crossed paths with Dianna several times through the years, and each year I run a festival of trees, and Dianna makes a nice beautiful big wreath, and I can see where her daughter gets her creative talent from. And it's taken me, 7 or 8 years to get a wreath stand that actually fits, because Dianna doesn't do it small, we'll say. Gorgeous. And had I not gotten that this year, you would have been getting that as a gift tonight. But in any event, you are so deserving, and I want to thank you on behalf of everyone here for everything that you do for Wilmington. It really does not go unnoticed, that's for sure. And secret drawer. And I would like to present you with your Good Guy Award. Dianna DiGregorio, Wilmington's 2018 Good Guy. And I also have, this is a book of your nomination letters. Okay. So enjoy, and there's some extra pages for you to add some memorabilia.
Thank you, Becky. I know somewhere in Medford right now at 9:35 p.m. there's probably still a bowling banquet going on that if you rush, you might be able to catch dessert. If you're not, unless they're already watching this on WCTV, and then you won't have to be there at all. I think it's only fitting at this time to welcome and congratulate the 2018 Wilmington Good Guy, Dianna DiGregorio. If you'd like to say a few words, Dianna.
Thank you, everybody. This is so unbelievable. Can you hear this? That I have been given this award. It is incredible, considering I thought I was going to a bowling banquet tonight. And here I am. This is even better. I've always tried to do as much as I can in the community, different organizations that I belong to, just trying to look out to help. Even within the organizations, I try to do as much as I can. I always said Nike stole my motto, just do it. If everybody volunteers, even one, doesn't have to be a long-term thing, one little thing, you can help your community and the people who live within it. And I try to live by that rule, and I try to watch and see and watch to see what's going on in the neighborhood. And I've always been that way. Even my brother Earl mentioned Big Bird. Big Bird is a reference because I was Big Bird at a Christmas party when I was working back in, I think, 1973 at a company, and I was in charge of a organization to help children in an orphan, and I had to be dressed up as Big Bird. I wonder why. So I've always been doing a lot of different things through my whole life, and I'm really happy that I'm on all the committees that I'm on in town: the Wilmington Community Fund, the Food Pantry, and the 4th of July Committee. And starting the roundtable was something I really wanted to do because I knew there were a lot of nonprofit organizations in town that a lot of people didn't know who to go to for a resource if you needed help. And that's the reason why I did that, so that we could get a lot of people in town and aware if you needed help, you know who to go to. We have a lot of new people moving into town, and we needed that resource. So I thank everybody, and look for me in the 4th of July comment, because you know I'm getting you for a ticket, for a raffle ticket. And thank you, everybody. Thank you a lot.
Dianna DiGregorio, Wilmington Good Guy for 2018. So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know Dianna's going to be a great addition to our team. I want to remind all the good guys before they leave tonight, we're going to get a photograph probably over here in this area. Oh, Dick says right here. So once again, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And good guys, don't leave until we get that photograph from Dick Searfoss. Thanks for joining us on Wilmington Community Television. See you next year.